Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in and maybe you're interested in are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything I bring up during this watch list. On June 4th on Netflix, we have a new series called Sweet Tooth. Apparently, it's based off a DC comic. Essentially, it's taking place in this post-apocalyptic world where basically children were born in this world that are hybrids. They're part human, part animal. And obviously we see kind of in this post-apocalyptic world, the fact is that hybrids are kind of hated. And obviously we follow our main protagonist, Gus, as he's kind of journeying to get to this place where hybrids are kind of, it's almost like a hybrid promised land. And he meets a stranger who's kind of like his bodyguard, is this guy who's willing to take this journey with them. For what reasons, we don't know. But from what we saw, it seemed like it could definitely be a dark series, but it just like I talked about when my trailer discussion, it just seems bright and colorful to a certain extent. But it seems like the story definitely could go dark depending on like how they handle it. As someone who's never read the comic book, I'm going into this dark, but it seems like a very interesting premise and series, so I'm really interested to check it out. On June 9th on Disney Plus, we have this series premiere of Loki, this being the show that follows the Loki from Endgame, the one that escaped with the Tesseract. So all his, shenanigans, we're going to be following him as he's caught up with the TVA, the time variance, I always forget. Agency, I believe is what the A is. Authority. I think it's authority. I always think agency, but it's authority. So basically we have him kind of going through time trying to fix things because he is who he is, and he's kind of an anomaly himself because he's from a timeline that shouldn't exist, but he's kind of fixing other issues throughout time while still being the mischievous god of, well, mischief that he is. So it's definitely an interesting series. Just from what we saw from the trailer, it looks wild and crazy. It's definitely going to be interesting to see this this Loki's arc. Jeez. Especially because we've seen, there's one Loki's arc we've come to know, the one that we've followed throughout the MCU. This is a different Loki. This is actually Loki after Avengers, so he's still a villain. He hasn't had his redemption arc, like he has across the other movies yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what this version of Loki, where his story takes him and kind of what this means for the MCU going forward. On June 13th on AMC Plus, if you're unaware what AMC Plus it is, AMC's like streaming service, we have a new series called Kevin Can F Himself. It's just from the trailer alone, it looks like such a weird show because it seems like it's a bounce back and forth between reality and almost like a sitcom, because basically this woman is in a marriage she's not happy about, but I guess like her way of presenting it, it's like, there's like everything's kind of funny and ha ha ha, like I'm in this terrible situation, and it's represented in the form of a comedy, but we do kind of tilt back into the reality where it seems like she has a way of dealing with that. Now it seems just based on the trailer like that's potentially ends with her murdering her husband, but we'll have to wait and see just how everything ends up flowing out. But obviously it's just like her life isn't what she thought it was, so I'm curious, is that just like a structure of the show, the sitcom element, or is there a part of her brain that manifests it like that as well? Is that her way of viewing with it, just to kind of her way of just trying to laugh away the pain of just like the terrible marriage and situation and circumstances that she's in? I'm interested to find out, but I mean, it just seemed like such an interesting development. It's almost weird because you almost want to be like, oh, it's a little WandaVision. It doesn't seem like it's not going to be like magic and craziness like WandaVision, but it's just interesting for an interesting show structure is all I'm saying. So I'm really interested to dive into it. I did say it is premiering on June 13th, but like I said, that's only for the AMC Plus. For what I was reading, it's coming to regular AMC, the channel, a week later on June 20th. So if you don't have AMC Plus, you just wait the next week, I believe, and you could just start watching the show then. So on June 14th on the CW, we have a new series called The Republic of Sarah. So basically, from what I've seen of the trailers, it seems like basically this small town, there's going to be a lot of changes, and like someone's coming in to kind of dig it up. I guess it's kind of like someone's come to like change the city, the town, and do what they want with it. But in particular, it seems like we're focusing on one particular character, Sarah, her as well as everyone else in the town story of just, it's basically a town coming together, kind of a strength in numbers of like, right, they can't kind of bulldoze and do whatever they want to in our town if we don't let them. So it's them working together, I think, coming together as a community, trying to make sure that their town doesn't get, you know, overtaken or changed. Because like, I don't know what the full extent of what this, like, who's ever coming in, what their plan is, whether it's just going to be like, oh, we're going to dig up some stuff and we're going to change it, we're going to build some stuff that we want to, you know. So it's them probably trying to find a lot of legal loopholes and ways to kind of fight back. So it just seems like it's going to be kind of almost like a very heartfelt drama, just like I said, like a community of you know, coming together for this. I'm sure there's going to be some who are in support of the changes, some who aren't, and I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic to kind of delve into over the course of the season. On June 16th on FX, we have Dave season 2. I have not finished Dave season 1. I like fell off just because like I got distracted with other stuff. I need to go back because Dave was, season 1 was really good from what I'd watched. I think I got like a little over halfway through the season, so I haven't even seen the trailer for season 2 yet, just because, no, I don't want any spoilers. But I mean it just, if it's anything like what I saw season 1, I know season 2 is going to be awesome. Like the show, it's funny, but also, you know, once again, I talked about it when I originally, when the first season was airing. Like, I'm a big, you know, Dave, aka Lil Dicky fan, so I'm like, you know, more of it and just what we saw. It's just a great, funny show. So I'm excited to go back and finish season 1. I'll probably end up rewatching like the episodes I already watched because it's been a while, so rewatched them in preparation for season 2. I'm excited to see what, you know, goes down. On June 20th on Paramount Plus, we have Evil season 2, which I'm so excited about. I've been waiting forever for season 2. If Evil is a great show that if you've not seen it, you need to change that immediately. I think, depending on what the streaming rights are currently, last time I checked, it was still on Netflix, but because of Paramount Plus, I don't know if Netflix still has the streaming rights for it. I mean, even if they do, they won't have them like forever. So, but yeah, I am kind of bummed that it is not going to be on regular CBS because I don't have Paramount Plus, so I'm going to have to remedy that soon enough. But yeah, it's going to be an CBS Paramount Plus exclusive. So regardless, I'm going to, like I said, remedy that situation just from the trailer, the teaser trailer, because there's not even an official trailer, which is so interesting. The teaser trailer doesn't even have dialogue, it's just shots from the season, you know. But considering where season 1 left off, it's like, yo, especially with Kristen Cole, we get peaks of that in season 2 because like from the teaser trailer, because we never saw what she did in season 1's finale. We kind of just, it got inferred, and now it's kind of like, oh, we see the, like, what she actually did, at least from the teaser, and obviously the road that's taking her down. I'm so excited for season 2. I cannot wait. It looks just as dark, if not darker and creepier, and I'm so excited. I am here for it. It's such a good show. I'm so excited for season 2. On June 22nd on Freeform, we have Motherland Fort Salem season 2 premiering. I have not seen season 1 at the time of me recording this, but it seemed like an interesting show. It seems like basically it's kind of almost like Witches. It seems like it's set modern day. Like I said, I'm kind of like not in the know of what it's all about, but I saw previews of it, and seeing that season 2 is like right around the corner, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start season 1. I might even review it. I haven't decided yet, but I mean, just from what I saw from the trailers and stuff like that, like I said, I'm going into it not really knowing too much because I haven't actually even seen the trailer. I've only seen like commercial promos for like the next episodes and stuff like that, but that's about it. But it just, like, dealing with witches, I'm not even sure like who they're up against, whether it's them fighting for their survival as witches. Like I said, I'm ignorant to what the story's about, but I will be more familiar when I, you know, obviously sit down and watch season 1 in preparation for season 2. So I am including on the list as someone who knows nothing about it. But yeah. On June 23rd on the CW, we have In the Dark season 3. So pumped for this. Just watched the trailer for it. Obviously, we're picking up in the aftermath of season 2. We got Max, Murphy, Jess, and Felix on the run after all the craziness. Obviously, we won't get too much into spoil. Well, you know, so they're on the run, and it's interesting because we see, God, I'm blanking on his name. Oh, we got Gene and Josh working together to track down Murphy and everything about, well, once again, everything that went down. So looks like we got a lot of craziness ensuing as they're on the run, as they're being tracked by everyone. So It's going to be interesting to see if they find, like, how they manage to find their way out of this situation, because it seems like they're kind of caught dead to rights, especially because it's like, yeah, oh, they buried some bodies, but it's like, oh, looks like those bodies might get unburied. It's going to be interesting to see where this season takes us, and if our, well, protagonists manage to find a way out of this or not. And last thing on the list, on June 25th on Amazon Prime Video, we have the 7th and final season of Bosch, which I'm excited to check out. At the time of me recording this, there's not a full trailer out. The only thing that's out is a teaser. There's not much to it. It's just Bosch basically cutting off the lights to the precinct and everything. So, kind of representing this being the end. I have to go back and rewatch season 6. I remember somewhere season 6 went and where some of the storylines ended. I remember one particular storyline. I won't go into it being like super depressing because it's like it's not the resolution a certain character wants. It's not even the resolution Bosch wanted. It actually ends very sadly. But I don't remember like how other aspects of the like main overarching case ended up being. This was like another case Bosch was working on because it's a continuation from a storyline set up in season 5. Like I said, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But yeah, like I said, at the time we recorded this, there is no official trailer, so I'm not even going into this season fully knowing what to expect. But I'm sure there'll be one dropping in like probably, knowing my luck, literally the day after I drop this, upload this, because this is going up tomorrow. Or ends up going to that, or it's going to end up being like a couple weeks from now. We'll ultimately see, but I'm excited to see how Bosch ends up wrapping up. And so that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of, that you're aware of, that you think me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. But really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.